Mark Twain, the legendary author of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, suddenly lands in modern-day Quahog, but instead of being celebrated, he's totally humiliated. In Season 23's Twain's World, Seth MacFarlane makes one of America's greatest icons the punchline. In this video, we'll break down why Family Guy chose Twain as their latest target. And hey, if you love Family Guy breakdowns, don't forget to hit subscribe. Before we dive into the episode, let's pause for a moment and remember why Mark Twain matters, and why using him in Family Guy is such a bold move. Mark Twain, real name Samuel Clemens, is one of the most famous authors in American history. His books, especially The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, are often called the foundation of American literature. But Twain didn't just tell fun stories. Through his writing, he made people think about big issues like race, freedom, and morality in a country that was still divided after the Civil War. And Twain wasn't only a novelist, he was a satirist, a humorist, and a sharp cultural critic. He mocked politicians, he exposed hypocrisy, he even wrote essays attacking organized religion. In a lot of ways, Twain was doing in the 1800s what Seth MacFarlane does today with Family Guy, using humor to poke at society's flaws. So when fans heard that Twain would appear in a Family Guy episode, expectations were high. You could imagine Brian debating philosophy with Twain.
Here, we're gonna table that for a second.
What if Merlin?
Yeah, we're also gonna put a pin in Merlin.
Or Stewie admiring his wit and intelligence. Maybe even clever nods to Huck Finn.
Adventures of Huckleberry Flan.
You mean Huckleberry Finn?
Or commentary on how Twain's books have been censored over the years, just like edgy shows get censored today.
Huck Finn. I already handed it in to my professor. The quality is undeniable. He'll pass it on to his publisher, and Huck Finn by Brian Twain Griffin will be as renowned as it ever was.
You gave someone Huck Finn in this era?
Smart, right?
Yeah, did you make any changes before you gave it to him?
To Mark Twain's masterwork? Of course not.
But that's not what we got. Instead of tribute, Twain gets dragged through the mud. Instead of respect, he's turned into a clown. And that's exactly what made Twain's World so shocking. So, what actually happens in the episode? We start with Stewie in his lab. He's built a new invention, a time travel device. But this time, he doesn't want to go back in time. He wants to prove he can pull history into the present. His chosen figure? Mark Twain. When Twain arrives, it's a spectacle. Cigar in hand, dressed in 19th century clothes, he's confused but dignified. The Griffins are starstruck. Neighbors crowd around. News crews show up. For a moment, Twain is treated like a celebrity. Peter brags at the Drunken Clam about hosting the greatest writer in history. Lois hopes Twain will inspire the kids. Even Brian looks up to him, eager to connect with another intellectual. But the honeymoon phase doesn't last. Twain struggles with modern life. He doesn't understand slang, he stares at smartphones like they're magic. He looks at Instagram and calls it a circus of fools. At first, these jokes are lighthearted, fish-out-of-water humor. Then, everything changes. Twain discovers the internet. And instead of diving into politics, science, or culture, Twain finds pornography.
Some of these women are powerful attractive.
What women?
On this hub of pornographs.
From this point on, the episode turns wild. Twain becomes obsessed. We see him glued to a computer, chain-smoking cigars, muttering crude commentary as he scrolls through endless explicit videos. Family Guy doubles down. Cutaway gags show Twain giving speeches, but instead of literary wisdom, he rants about adult film stars. Another gag has him comparing his famous riverboats to sailing the endless seas of temptation. The Griffins are horrified. Lois calls him a bad influence. Meg calls him creepy. Even Brian, normally the champion of intellectual figures, distances himself. But Peter, he thinks it's hilarious. And when Twain meets Quagmire, the jokes get filthier. The two bond over their shared interests, creating some of the most outrageous moments of the season. By the midpoint, Twain's dignity is gone. Once a cultural giant, he's now just a running joke. Stewie realizes he's made a mistake. He argues Twain doesn't belong here. Instead of adapting, he's unraveling.
Turned one of the greatest writers in history into a porn addict, and now he's God knows where. Brian, you've now thrown history off course. This is a bigger disaster than when Mount Vesuvius erupted.
History, Stewie warns, is literally being ruined. The climax comes when Stewie sends Twain back to his own time, but it's not a respectful send-off. Twain stumbles into the 19th century still rambling about porn, still humiliated, his image completely tarnished. And that's how it ends. Mark Twain, once the father of American literature, reduced to a joke and tossed back into history like yesterday's trash. So why? Why would Family Guy take such a respected figure and humiliate him like this? Reason 1. Pure shock value. This is textbook Family Guy. The show has never been afraid to cross lines. They've mocked Jesus multiple times.
A comedian? How could you do this to your mother? What's next? You don't want to marry your very close cousin?
Of course not. In fact, right now, I'm weirdly seeing a prostitute with the same name as Mom.
Turned Walt Disney into a racist caricature.
Hello, everybody!
And made US presidents the butt of cheap gags.
I'm gonna be the nice, kind Peter Griffin.
You can't walk out on me. I'm the president.
Well, you're not a very good one.
The formula is clear. The more untouchable the figure, the bigger the laugh when you take them down. Mark Twain was the perfect candidate because he sits on that pedestal of untouchable American greatness. By dragging him through the mud, the writers instantly grab attention and guarantee controversy. Reason 2. Satire of our culture. Think about how we treat historical icons today. We keep resurrecting them through biopics, reboots, memes, AI deepfakes, even hologram concerts. But instead of honoring them, we flatten them into entertainment products. Family Guy exaggerates that reality. Twain isn't remembered as a sharp social critic. He's reduced to the most base distraction possible: internet porn. It's absurd, yes, but it mirrors how we strip meaning away from real icons once they're recycled for modern audiences. Reason 3. It's a mirror for us. Maybe Twain isn't the punchline at all. Maybe we are. Look at the way we consume media. Endlessly scrolling, hooked on shallow content, turning even genius into clickbait. Twain, a man who once used humor to expose society's flaws, becomes the perfect symbol for how we've lost that depth. His downfall on screen reflects our own obsession with screens. So yes, Twain was ruined. But maybe that's the point. It's not just Twain who looks ridiculous, it's all of us, laughing while history and culture are cheapened for quick entertainment. When Twain's World aired, the internet lit up. Some fans absolutely loved it. They said it was classic Family Guy, outrageous, fearless, and laugh-out-loud funny. For them, this episode was proof that the show can still shock after more than 20 seasons. They praised the writers for proving that no one is safe, not even the most celebrated author in American history. On fan forums, one viewer wrote, "Honestly, I have to disagree with everyone here because I thought the episode was hilarious." Another joked, "I feel like they missed the mark on this one." Just kidding, I loved it. Others, though, hated it. They argued Twain deserved better. Turning a literary genius into a porn addict felt cheap and lazy. Some fans pointed out that there was a real opportunity here. Family Guy could have used Twain's sharp wit to make clever points about today's culture, censorship, or politics. Instead, the writers went for shock humor. On Reddit, one person said, "This episode was excruciating to watch. Mark Twain? Addicted to pornography? Get somebody under 50 in the writing room, I beg." On No Homers, another called it a tiring, unfunny, badly written trash fire and the worst time travel-related Family Guy episode by a country mile. Critics were just as split. Entertainment blogs and TV reviewers highlighted how polarizing the episode was. Some praised the boldness, saying it proved Family Guy is still willing to cross lines other shows won't touch. They argued that this kind of controversy is exactly what keeps the show relevant. Others disagreed, saying it showed how over-reliant the writers have become on crude jokes instead of sharp satire. One critic put it bluntly, "This wasn't edgy, it was lazy." And that's the thing. Love it or hate it, everyone was talking. Social media feeds, fan forums, even YouTube reaction channels lit up with debate. For Family Guy, that's the ultimate win. The show thrives on controversy, and with Twain's World, they got exactly what they wanted. Attention, arguments, and plenty of people tuning in just to see what all the fuss was about. So there you have it. Family Guy just ruined Mark Twain in one of the most shocking episodes of season 23. Was it crude? Absolutely. Was it funny? Without question. And whether you thought it was offensive or brilliant satire, Twain's World proved that Family Guy is still willing to cross lines no one else dares. But what do you think? Did the writers go too far? Or was this exactly the kind of savage, over-the-top comedy we expect from Seth MacFarlane's team? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more Family Guy breakdowns, shocking TV moments, and savage